Good evening. TGIF. Some people say that thank goodness it's Friday. My statement is today, God is first. Today, God is first. I'm Dr. Berrien Staples, or Reverend Dr. Berrien Staples. And as I said to you yesterday, I did a live that I was coming back for part two, trying to settle into this music that's playing. As you can see, I still have my main squeeze, my only squeeze, Jennifer Staples. She's actually Reverend Jennifer Staples. She's a little tired tonight. She's been working on that. Uh, been working on that working on the coal mine, going downtown. Oh my goodness! Yeah, she's a hard worker. She's a little under the weather right now. We did go get she always says, a bite to eat. Came home and said, "I'm just tired, honey." I said, "Well, you go ahead and rest." Welcome again. I told you that our show last night, the live, was Trump and Epstein, part one. I'm going to do a quick abbreviation for part two tonight, this evening. My goodness, I don't know when it's going to get any different. Almost said better, but just different. I was listening to, I have a program by Dr. David Jeremiah, one of my favorite people, and he says, and this program is about the changes in time. He calls it, "Never Thought I'd See the Day." Well, I'm saying that too. I never thought I would see the day. Just to recap on last night, I ended up with um, some lyrics to the song by my cousin Mavis Staples. And for those that didn't hear or didn't, I'm not going to sing it, but those that did not see these lyrics, I'm going to start off the show and kind of give you kind of a backdrop in terms of where I left off. I went into some information regarding the situation that's been going on, sweeping the country, not for the past 10 years, I would say for the past 20, 2000, 1993, 32 years. And I'll clarify that even more as I move on. But I'm going to read these lyrics again for those that did not hear or weren't here with me last night. I'm going to put these up here and I'm going to read these. Let me go back in here. I want to turn off this sound. Here I go. Oh boy. This is what I like to share with y'all right now. And this here is something that goes back into the era when things were not so good, still aren't so good, and they were traveling. And this song came to um, to the heart, and it says, "With my own eyes." That's the name of this song. You know, we're seeing things in the news, and we're hearing things in the news. We are listening to people in grocery stores, hospital, lobbies, Walmarts. Of course, Walmart's got to be in here. We hear a little bit of everything in Walmart. Schoolways, whatever. People are talking, saying things. There used to be a phrase that believe half of what you hear and none of what you see. Well, I think there's a crossover phenomenon that's taking place. That a lot of things we do see are really happening. I go back to January 6th. This podcast is called Race and Cultures Bridging the Divides. Race and Cultures Bridging the Divides. And you cannot go anywhere in America and somewhere it's not talking about race, or we're not dealing with culture. Culture in your home, culture in your schools, culture in the grocery stores, culture in the parking lots. My goodness, how people drive in parking lots all over the place. Culture in movie theaters. Culture is just a culmination or a combination of how interactions are taking place, how people are reacting and responding to different norms expected in that certain environment. That's a culture. I just kind of went through a real quick synopsis of that. But I want to read to you that those that weren't here with me. And the lyrics go to this song with my own eyes. I was just a little girl traveling with my pops. That's Pop Staples. Thrown in jail for nothing by some Southern racist cops. I remember that story. Reverend Martin told us, that's Dr. Martin Luther King, was a good friend with Pops and the family. They traveled together. Reverend Martin told us what needed to be done. If he can preach it, we can sing it. That's what Pops had told Dr. King one time. Help you make the new day come. We took the walk to DC. My heart in the church. I prayed, oh, my child, fix that anger and hurt. It's been almost 50 years. How much longer will it last? We need a change now more than ever. Why are we still treated so bad? With my own eyes, saw it with my own eyes. With my own eyes, so I know it's true. I saw New Orleans, saw the people left for dead. I've heard every bold-faced lie you politicians said. I've seen for myself, and you can't fool your sight. Well, we better make a change, and we better start tonight. With my own eyes, saw it with my own eyes. Ooh, my own eyes. So I know it's true. Sure enough, I do. With my own eyes, I saw it with my own eyes. Y'all can't fool me. I saw it. Oh, I saw it. Yes, I did. So now I know the truth. I know the truth. I know the truth. I saw it. We saw it with my own eyes. Mm-mm-mm. Some other day, my father would tell me, he said, Mavis, I've seen this years ago when I was a boy, and I thought by now all of this should have been taken care of long ago. When I was a boy, I didn't think I'd be a grown man looking at it still. We got to spread our word. You just be strong. Be strong. As long as you got your family, that's the strongest unit in the world. Stick together with your brothers and sisters. That will keep you strong. Can't nobody break you. All right, Pops. That's what Mavis' response is. It's been almost 50 years, though. How much longer will it last? We need a change now more than ever. Why? Why? Somebody tell me. Why are we still treated so bad? Oh, Lord, 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 Lord. My own eyes. With my own eyes. Yeah, my own eyes. Oh, my goodness, my own eyes. I know it's true. I saw it with my own eyes. I did. I saw it with my own eyes. Didn't nobody tell me about it. I saw it. Yes, I did. Oh, I know it's true. Yeah, with my own eyes. Did you see it? Have you been there? I know all about it. I'm gonna write a book about it though. Let y'all read what I'm talking about. But in the meantime, just listen to my song. All right? With my own eyes, I know it's true. Yeah, with my own eyes. Oh, my own eyes. I know it's really true. And I saw it with my own eyes. I did. I saw it with my own eyes. My own Lord, I know it's true. Saw it with my own eyes. Yes, I did. My eyes, my own eyes. I do. I know it's true because I saw it. Yes, it is. I wouldn't tell you no lie. I leave that to the politicians, all right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I thank you. I thank you. With my own eyes. With my own eyes. So many things are going on. We're told what we're not to see things that we see or hear things what we hear. And the line in there about politicians not telling the truth. And that's something I can hear with my own ears. We get told one thing one day and another thing the next. Sam Cooke wrote a song once, "A Change is Gonna Come." He wrote that once, but he was unfortunately killed in a terrible situation in a motel room. Sam Cooke, way ahead of his time. So, Doc, what are you going to talk about tonight? Well, I tell you, before we get started, what I'm going to talk about, up in the corner there, I normally had my logo up there for racing. Racing Cultures Bridging the Divides is an affiliate with Racing Ethics Corporation. Racing Ethics Corporation, and there's a scan code up there in the corner, and that's for people to click on if they want to donate to this as a nonprofit. No, I don't get paid for doing this. I take donations, and that money we use to help people out, to help with clothing, food, those types of things. And I'll have uh, we have grandkids and great grandkids, so sometimes we have to help them out. But we know people that are homeless on the streets, whatever, people needing food. The Bible, Jesus made a proclamation one time was I when I was thirsty, did you give me drink? When I was needing shelter, did you take me in? When I was hungry, did you feed me? When I was in prison, did you come to visit? That's about service. It's nothing to do with preaching and praise. It's about servant's heart. That's what this ministry is about. Well, we have another ministry, but everything I do is a ministry. You know, everything you do, everybody's a minister, to be honest. Go out and help people. You do a ministry. Don't be lying and cheating and robbing and stealing. That's a ministry. You don't have to have the letters after your name or a title. Just go out and help people. Help yourself too. And do the right thing in the right way at the right time all the time. That's what you have to do. So I think what I want to talk about tonight, I'm going to start off by saying that, okay, I told you about the barcode. I'm going to share with you our website address. It's just like the title of this podcast, Racing Cultures, bridgingthedivides.com. If you go to that website, Racing Cultures, bridgingthedivides.com, you get to hear and see more about Racing Ethics Corporation. You get to read and hear more, see more about me, my journey, our journey. I say our journey because we're all on the same journey, trying to uplift people, trying to uplift a better world, be more compassionate, more beloved. The late John Lewis said, see something, do something. He says, there's nothing wrong with good trouble. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. exemplified that all the time. Good trouble. If you're doing something good, it may rock the boat. It may create a storm, may create some tension. If you're trying to do good, nothing happens easy when you're trying to change for the better. But it's like a piece of coal. It just looks awful and it's going through all kind of changes. And the pressure keeps pressing on that coal. The coal gets, all this pressure. But the more you press, in the end, you have a beautiful diamond. That's what we're looking for in this world. We're that lump of coal with all these pressures on us, and look into the future so we can all become a diamond, precious jewel, precious jewel. I'm going to start off with this here. You know, Epstein and Trump, I don't care which name goes first. Hopefully, our Race and Cultures Bridging the Divides will help shed some light on what's going on. So let's go back here and see. So we have some things going on. I'm going to take you to a video that was done. I don't really watch the news. I get clips of things because I don't sit back and listen to a lot of things on the news. But this was done by, she's really a great reporter, Erin Burnett. I like what she says. And let's listen to how she describes this situation.
A CNN exclusive tonight out front. K-File has unearthed photos of Jeffrey Epstein that we've never seen, and they shed new light on his relationship with President Trump. The revelations come as Trump is under fire from his own base for his Justice Department's handling of the so-called Epstein files. Trump has tried, of course, to distance himself from Epstein every which way. But one of the photos that K-File found confirms that Epstein actually attended Donald Trump's wedding.
It's my own eyes.
And this is the proof.
Own eyes.
Again, this has never been published before. So this is a new image. You haven't seen it out there on X or anything like that. This is the proof that Epstein attended Trump's wedding at the Plaza Hotel in New York. And in the photo, what you see is Epstein entering the Plaza Hotel. The wedding date of this is December 20th, 1993, in the center of their
32
friendship,
years
which of course
ago.
continued.
Long time
And for
friendship.
comparison, we'll show you on the right a photo of Trump and Marla Maples at the same location under the entryway arch. Andrew Kaczynski of
Same dress,
K-File is
I
here with
saw.
the new images of Trump and Epstein. And Andrew, I shared one of them there, but so let's start with the one at Trump's wedding. I mean, this is a significant development.
Well, yeah, it is. Trump's wedding to Marla Maples in 1993 was dubbed the wedding of the century by the media at the time. And although we know that Trump and Epstein were friends during this period, this is really the first time that it's actually been reported that Trump invited Epstein to his wedding. This is, we should note, more than a decade before those first allegations of sex trafficking against Epstein. But as you know, Trump's relationship with Epstein has been under the microscope recently. Now, besides that one photo of Epstein entering the reception at the Plaza Hotel, we can also see him in the background of another picture. That's Howard Stern on the far right, along with Robin Leach from Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, and Epstein is behind them at the wedding, almost seeming to be photobombing them. We also found this photo from just a few months earlier, Donald Trump with two of his children talking to Jeffrey Epstein. That's at the opening of the Harley-Davidson Cafe in New York in October 1993. You can see Ivana there. She would have been just about to turn 12 years old in that photo.
Yeah, you can see Ivanka right there it looks like between Trump and Epstein. All right, these are never before seen photos, Andrew. I know you also found some video of Trump and Epstein that was from later of them talking that has also never surfaced before. What's that?
Well, that's right. This is from 6 years later in 1999. This video has never been seen before in this context. It shows Trump talking to Jeffrey Epstein just before models hit the runway at the Victoria's Secret fashion show in New York in 1999. You know, the only other video we've seen of the two men was 7 years before this. Trump is at the show with Melania, who is, of course, now First Lady, seated a few feet away from Epstein. You can see them chatting during the show as well. Allegations that Epstein sexually abused underage girls didn't surface until 2005, years after this video was shot.
Right, but this, of course, establishes them together and obviously very friendly in 1999. So, Andrew, when you get all this, and all of this, as I just want to emphasize, right, has not been seen before. So you actually called President Trump. You called him directly to ask him about this.
Yeah, we were not on the phone very long. I think our call was about 30 seconds or so. But when I asked him about the wedding photo, he said, he sort of paused for a second and then said, You've got to be kidding me, before calling CNN fake news and then hanging up on me. Now, in a statement to CNN, White House Communications Director Stephen Chung said this. He said these are nothing more than out of context frame grabs of innocuous videos and pictures of widely attended events to disgustingly infer something nefarious. The fact is that the president kicked him out of his club for being a, quote, creep.
All right. Well, it is incredible reporting, and it is important in this context as the country wants, answers on everything to do with Epstein. Andrew, thank you so much for all of that breaking news.
So there we have it. Boy, boy, boy. We have this whole situation going on with Epstein, and they're going through all this, and we wonder what is really the truth, don't we? Trying to figure it out, and we never can get to the truth of things. Excuse me, I'm just trying to nail some more information. But we need to figure out what is really happening. You see in that collage up there that there's a lot of other photographs and things like that. So what must we do? What must we do to make things better? Well, it gets a little rough. It gets a little rougher. I just want to leave those up there so you can see that we don't know exactly the relationship that happened all the time they were together. As I said in my live yesterday, I don't know the man in the White House. I didn't know Jeffrey Epstein. We know that they had an incredible close relationship. We've all heard about the charges, pedophiles. I heard the word pederast the other day, same thing. But what exactly is it all about? Who has insight into what happened between those guys and what happened with Epstein and all the allegations of uh, inappropriate acts with young girls, 12 years and above? I don't know if there was any reporting of anyone being younger than that, and hope to God, nothing. One of the worst things that I think anyone can do is hurt a child. And I call people children all the way up to 21, and sometimes still a child. But all these things are just so disgusting to think about. But we have the man in the White House that is um, involved with this person. They say that there's no honor amongst thieves. And that can be taken in other contexts. When you're on a football team, everybody's band together, that guard, that tackle, that running back, the defensive side of the ball, safeties, linebackers, whatever. But guess what? When you step on the field together, everybody is looked at as whatever the school name is, the Rockets, the Trojans, uh, the Lions, whatever. It's everybody's there doing what they do. Whatever the situation, the place where Epstein was and all the people there, they're all there together. Of course, you're going to say some people will say, I don't know what was happening, but they were there. Trump has been his friend for 35 years. I have another little clip here with Epstein's brother and Aaron Burnett. She is going to share this with us, and let's listen and see what they have to say. So I just want you to listen to his brother's Mark Epstein. I have another taping with him, what he feels about what happened to his brother. But he's going to tell you a little bit about what he perceived as their relationship.
from what you know, from what you saw, how close was your brother to Donald Trump?
They were very close. They were good friends. Jeffrey used to sometimes tell me things that Donald said that were funny. I know Donald was in Jeff's office a lot back in the 90s. It's documented that Donald flew on Jeff's plane a number of times. I don't know if they ever checked, but I know Jeff flew on Donald's plane also. I don't know if they've ever looked at his flight logs. And they were good friends. I flew on Jeff's plane. It's known I was on the plane in 1999, flying up from Florida, and Donald was with us. And we were all joking around. They were good friends.
So, tell me about that. I know there was something on that flight that you remember about your brother and Trump. What is it?
Well, it was a funny thing when we were talking, and stick a pin in that. A couple weeks or a week before that flight, I was talking to Jeffrey, and he told me that he was talking to Donald, and he asked Donald, "How come you sleep with so many married women?" And Donald's answer was, "Because it's so wrong." Now, amongst guys, it was a funny line. And then when we were on the plane a week or two later, Jeffrey asked Donald the same question. I know he did that for my benefit so that I could hear Donald say it. And Jeffrey asked him, "How come you sleep with so many married women?" And Donald said, "Because it's so wrong." Now, it's a funny line, but the answer is not the poignant part of the story here. The question is the poignant part, because for Jeffrey to ask him that question, number one, he would have to know that Donald slept with a lot of married women, so and he probably got that information from Donald. And
It
also,
implies a confidence.
that's not the kind of question you ask a casual acquaintance. How come you slept with so many married women? That's a question you ask a good friend that you can get away with asking those kind of questions.
Mark, from what you know, from
Let's
what you
listen to this again. It's very telling what he said. You don't say certain things with such a casual acquaintance, that they had a close enough relationship where they could talk about intimate issues regarding other people, other women. And that is a telltale sign that they shared a lot of things together. Mark Epstein, brings some truth to this. So here we are, things we are hearing with our own ears, things that we are seeing played out in the media. Now, I'm going to be the first to say that a lot of people are trying to get ratings, trying to, make this network better than that network. I'm not about that. I believe the passage out of the darkness, the truth shall come to light. And we're looking for some light. We are hearing a lot of darkness, terrible darkness coming at us. And you out there need to realize you have an obligation to search your soul, regardless of whatever your political affiliation is, or what church you go to, what school you go to, what neighborhood you live in. We're still the United States of America, no matter what city you're in, be it rural or urban or the middle of the road. We all need to come together and fight against darkness. No, I could start preaching about darkness and principalities, but the thing that I'm trying to help us understand, we have to do better to be better. Good trouble. So a lot is centers around this man, Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein. There's a term called social deviance. He there. We've seen this man in the White House. And I hate to tell you this, I have a hard time calling him the president of the United States. I can remember presidents, Dwight D. Eisenhower. I can remember presidents, even Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon was a pretty brilliant person, believe it or not, but he got kind of larcenous. He got caught, but no one's Richard Nixon, what he did was like child's play compared to what has been happening in that White House under administration like this. Overthrow the government, January 6th. Peaceful. I saw that. I know people that were there that are people that I know personally. You're not going to tell me those wounds that they incurred didn't happen. People hiding under their desk. And then after the storm settles, life being threatened, and they still wanted to say, oh, nothing really happened. Hang Mike Pence. Never thought I'd hear the words hang a vice president of the United States. He did the right thing, though. He verified the election like he was supposed to. So we are at Trump and Epstein, part 2. Let's take it to the darkness. This is a depiction of a grand jury, not a grand jury, it was an interview with Jeffrey Epstein. I will keep something in mind. Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, they were supposed to be getting a non-prosecutory agreement from, I can't think of his name, but he was one of Trump's legal people, and they went back on their word. Now we know that she's been interviewed by, I'm going to just digress a little bit. She's been interviewed. Now think about this. The people that are running the Department of Justice is Trump's personal attorney. The person that's assistant to him, to her, is his other attorney. And the person, I can't think of his name, that's involved with this Maxwell interview, he's also a Trump attorney. So call me stupid, but it seems like to me he has his own law firm heading the Department of Justice. So what do we think is going to happen here? These attorneys that are his attorneys are talking to this lady, and they've asked him the question, are you going to pardon or commute her sentence? Well, I hope that some form of consciousness hits this woman, where she tells the whole story. As they say, tell the truth, not but the truth. So help you God. Well, we need a lot of God in this. So think about this. Don't be surprised if we don't hear, well, she just got a pardon or commuted her sentence, and she's going to say, I didn't see nothing. I don't know anything. But she did put together that birthday card that he drew a picture of. I don't have it with me. And he made a statement that he doesn't draw anything. There's a whole line of drawings that he's made about the skylines and things, and his signature can't be mistaken. What he drew across her pubic area in his picture, and had anatomical other things in his drawing, and he gives that to Epstein for his birthday card. Let's see what you think about Epstein's interview here.
It's the moment Jeffrey Epstein is asked about his friendship with Donald Trump, and it's going viral today.
Have you socialized with him?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
The year was 2010, and the financier was battling an onslaught of lawsuits from multiple women, accusing him of sexually abusing them as minors. Epstein and Trump were known to be good friends, and in the deposition, he was asked directly.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Listen to this.
Epstein pauses, shakes his head, then answers.
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
The deposition has resurfaced as the backlash over the Epstein files continues to dog the president. Today, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche traveled to Tallahassee to speak with Epstein's ex-girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell. She's serving 20 years for recruiting underage girls for Epstein. One thing Ghislaine Maxwell may be asked about is the birthday book, a book of raunchy letters from Epstein's friends she reportedly put together for his 50th birthday. According to the Wall Street Journal, President Trump wrote a letter with a doodle of a naked woman. He's calling the report a scam and is suing the newspaper.
The existence of the book is it's an absolute fact.
An attorney for Epstein's victims say the book is real and is currently in the possession of the Epstein estate.
It's going to go down in history so that the world can see this book, and they'll know who were Jeffrey Epstein's best friends at the time, what other pictures are in there.
Well, you heard that. What other pictures are in there? We didn't get the other guy on video that was talking about the pictures. But I just wanted us to think about this tonight as we go into our weekend. Think about what's out there. Think about what are we going to do differently? What can we do about Trump and Epstein? To be honest, we can't do a lot. We can't do a lot. But we can, with our own eyes and our own ears, stick to the task and try to do the right thing in the right way at the right time. So what does all this mean exactly? I just think that that we just have to keep moving forward and see what we can do. I think that it gets down to this.
It's the moment Jeffrey Epstein is asked about.
Anyway, I'll find it here. Here's something I wanted us to share. Maybe I can't find it right now. But I do think that we have to do better. We have to do better with what is going on in this world. We have to try to pick up the pieces in the right way and to show the world that we are better than what's being presented. I may not be able to show this other information. I'll see what I can do. Okay, I can't find it right now. I just want to say thank you all for being with me tonight and to experience this. But I just want to share with you some thoughts that I do have. We may not understand everything that's going on, but we do know that there's a lot of things that are going on that we don't care about, we don't like, but they're happening out there. And I just hope that as time goes on, that we will begin to do this on your own, search for truth. And remember that we have to all rightly divide the word of truth. No matter what we do, we have to do that. Search your own truth and rightly divide the word of truth. That depends on all of us. So as we go into this weekend and we enjoy some things, I'm fortunate my daughter and her all her kids, except for one, her husband, are here in Florida for Raj has a baseball tournament in Orlando. We're going to go enjoy them tomorrow just to get out. And I love family. I guess that's what it's all about. Families are being harmed. Families are being hurt in all the things that are happening. I did another episode regarding all the deportations, all the things. Families have been hurt by this whole thing with Trump and Epstein, young girls and families. Those daughters are daughters to someone. 4 of them have committed suicide since this has come out. Young girls, they weren't even 25. Some of them weren't yet. We've had a lot of these women talk. You all hear the stories with your own ears and your own eyes. You be the judge. Search for the truth. Rightly divide it. And I ask everybody to think about your mother, grandmother, your daughters, your female cousins. How would you feel if they were subjected to something like this? Well, it's been a pleasure being with you tonight, enjoying the moment together. And I'm Reverend Dr. Barry N. Staples, Bridging the Divides. Once again, like and subscribe to this channel. And if you have in your heart to make a donation, scan that barcode up there in the corner, and we'll find the right ministry to help others out with any funds that we receive. I've really enjoyed you tonight. And I say go in peace, go in love, and go in compassion. Have a good evening. God bless each and every one of you.